We're in the process of building a recreational swim pond that can embrace the fact that we have emus here in the yard. So it's a 30-foot by 60-foot swim pond. It's going to have a 15 by 20-foot wetland filter, which will be the filtration system for the whole thing. And then a 20 by 20-foot rainwater catchment system, which will hold about 10,000 gallons of water. This is the finished rainwater catchment cistern, so to speak. So what we're going to do in this episode is kind of take you through the building process of that rainwater catchment system, you through everything we did in some detail. Hope you tune in and follow the project and check out what we did.
Yeah, so we're getting all of our aqua blocks, these are our water storage modules, down into the rainwater harvesting system here. This is a stack of 3 aqua blocks tall. It's going to hold, each stack is going to be close to 100 gallons of water. We have over 100 stacks, so over 300 total large aqua blocks. And yeah, here's the hole that they're going down into.
All this is going to disappear as well, right? Because we'll cover this over.
That's right.
So we will, when this is done, we won't even see this. But yeah, so this is roughly 10,000 gallons. The idea here is that we're going to drain our entire roof up there. It'll basically, from the roof, we're going to do a pipe that'll come down here and empty into here. And then this will be kind of the buffer for the rest of the pond up there. So we'll pump water out of here through pipes into the wetland. It'll flow down a stream into the pond, and then eventually we'll drop into here, and we'll have the ability to kind of scoop out leaves and stuff in here. So this is pretty impressive. That, you know, people say that they wish they would have built their ponds bigger. Like, doesn't every single person say that?
Yeah, pretty much everybody. Yeah. That's the biggest regret.
Yeah. So I don't think I'm going to have that regret.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
That's the biggest thing. In addition to some rain and stuff that they had to fight through, I think it got down to 20 degrees at one point.
Yeah, it was snowing on like the day 3. It was snowing, or day 2 or something.
It was cold. It was really cold, and these guys just kept going. What about what's down in there?
Yeah, so those are 4 of our pump vaults. We're going to actually house 5 pumps in those vaults. We've got a lot of extensions that are going to go on top of those vaults to reach up to the height of the aqua blocks, and then the pumps will sit all the way down in the bottom. The bottom of those vaults are sitting lower than the floor of this rainwater system, so that they can make sure that they have the maximum amount of available water.
That's where we'll pump the water out to go to the wetland filter and to the pond.
Yep, jets.
The jets filter, in the pond.
Waterfalls, and also, you know, just for harvesting the rainwater.
Gotcha. Cameron's going to take us through kind of the rest of what he's got out here, and this is not everything.
Right. No,
this is just about half.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
We've got all of our product on site, but in terms of the boulders, yeah, we're maybe sitting close to the halfway point on the boulders. We've got a bunch of flagstone that's going to be coming out as well that we're going to use as the floor of the pond. And so this is some of the beautiful Texas moss rock that we have.
And it is pretty impressive. And there's some big ones here.
Yeah, and we got a good sized machine, so we can get some pretty big stuff in there.
Yeah.
There's a really big one down there on the end. It's a single one rock on a pallet.
Yeah,
we'll put some more stuff in like that. These tall things here are called the centipede modules. So this is what we use in the wetland filter. We essentially line 4 of these up together in the very bottom of the wetland filter. They'll be trenched in so that they're lower than everything else.
Yeah.
And then we have more aqua blocks, but we're going to be using small aqua blocks, where those are the large ones over there. We'll put a layer of small aqua blocks on top of this, so that when the water, because we're pumping water to the bottom of this, and then water's pushing up through the layers of gravel, and so the layer of aqua blocks will allow the water to distribute evenly and come up together.
Gotcha.
Then it goes through layers of rock and gravel before coming over the waterfall system back into the pond.
So this is essentially at the very bottom of the wetland filter, and then aqua blocks, and then large boulders or large rocks, and then smaller.
Right, exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then this also allows us to easily clean out that wetland filter. So when we do a back flush and we turn the system off, we have a snorkel vault, which is hidden here in the plastic.
Gotcha.
So this is our snorkel vault, and so these centipede modules connect to the bottom of this snorkel vault, and then we can drop a sump pump down in here, and we can start to pump out that water. You can use that water as to water trees and plants, and also just to clean out the muck that builds up down there.
Super rich water, right?
Exactly.
Full of nitrates and good stuff that we can use for the plants. And so explain the kind of your system of how you kind of put these together so that we don't get holes from the emus and
Right.
that kind of thing.
So we can go look at this underlayment as well. It's the last thing over here, but we have this is rock pad underlayment, so it's really thick stuff. It's a geotextile underlayment. It adds structural stability to the pond, and it prevents sharp things, rocks or claws, from poking and puncturing the liner. So we put a layer of this rock pad on the bottom of the pond before we put the liner in. And there's an open one over here actually. And then we put a second layer on top of the liner. So the liner is sandwiched between two layers of this thick rock pad. It's about an 1/8 inch thick, if you can see how thick that is. Because of the emus, we're gonna even take an additional layer of protection by using the flagstone and gravel to go on top of this to prevent their sharp claws from ever touching the liner.
That kind of paradigm will continue in the stream that comes through here. So that's where the wetland's going to be, and then we'll do as long a stream as we can, based on the limitations that we have here. And that'll have this stuff that Cameron was talking about, but it'll also have a layer of flagstones.
That's right.
So deer claws ain't getting through there.
That's right.
And we kind of raised the starting point of the dig up here about 8 inches, 6 inches?
Yeah, 6 to 8 is a pretty close guess. It's rough right now, so we're gonna obviously have a lot of digging to do in here. So we just wanted to basically have a place to put dirt from our rainwater system. When we dug that out, we didn't have to build the berm up yet. We'll be building the berm out of the pond excavation, but this also allows us to prevent runoff from getting into the pond. It'll be a little bit raised up from the rest of the yard. Yeah. And it's the Aquascape system too. The way that they put this system together, it's scalable. So when we do a project that's a 8.5 by 11 size pond, and then we scale that up to 60 foot by 30 foot, 6 feet deep, it's all the same system, just scaled up to
and that 60 by 30 is kind of the outside edge of the size that you could go bigger if you had to, but that's sort of
because one of the limitations, we're using an EPDM liner, and the largest roll that we can get is about 50 foot wide. You can get it 100 foot long, but the width is 50 foot, and so when you start to dig down and get to a 6 foot depth, and you've got high walls that are being stair stepped down, you want to make sure you have enough liner. Of course, you can go bigger, but then you start to seam liner together, and that's it's really safe. It's not it's not as much of a concern about leaks, but it is very labor intensive, and it takes a long time, very time consuming to get a large seam done.
I wish I had a mockingbird, I wish I had a diamond ring, I wish I had a pink raincoat, wish I had a pretty thing like you. I wish I had a bubble gum, I wish I had a zeppelin, wish I had a kaleidoscope, wish I had a pretty thing like you.
So that's what it looks like inside.
We just pulled that back so you can see. We're going to drape this across the entire top, give it some structural stability so that when you're walking, you don't have to worry about cracking the little panels. Like this, the pressure points, right? When you spread the load, they're super strong, but if you put a sharp pressure point down, you can kind of crack the top of them.
Got it.
So we put this underlayment, that'll make it easy to walk on without having to worry about that. Then we take all of this and we pull it over the top. So you got fabric, liner, and then under this liner is more fabric. It all gets pulled in, and then we backfill.
I see. I got you now.
And we overdug the hole so that we make sure we have it fit in there.
Gotcha.
and then we backfill.
Will this underlayment actually stay on top?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's going to stay on top, and we'll cut holes where we want water to infiltrate.
Okay.
And leave it everywhere else.
Gotcha.
This stuff is it's so thick, it's going to prevent a lot of water from getting in.
Okay.
And any water that were to drip through would be fairly clean.
Would be clean.
Yeah, but we can also put some EPDM on top. We just have to, use some scrap after we.
And we can kind of make that choice.
Yeah.
Whenever we need to. Okay. Well, this whole thing, I'm glad we documented it because it's all going to disappear.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to probably get down there with our boots and kind of tamp it down before we go any higher.
Yeah, I gotcha. That thing ain't moving after this.
Yeah.
It's
And
gonna
we
be in
go
there.
around, like we put a little bit on all sides so it doesn't get shifted as we backfill one side. Now we're gonna be ready for water here in a few minutes, because once we get this first layer of dirt, we can start putting water in it.
Okay. Let me see if my rainwater system is not frozen.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the kind of the old rainwater system, which is about 5,000 gallons. Those are buried about 3 feet into the ground. So they're 2,500 gallons a piece. And I was a little afraid that this might have froze up. Because all we've got is just kind of this insulated system on it, but it was fine. Kicked right up, started going. So we're gonna use that water because they're both full right now. We're gonna use that water to start filling up the big rainwater feature out here to kind of hold everything down and hold everything together. So yeah, that's what we're doing now. So that is the rainwater system that's going to be part of this pond system. It's kind of a grand project, but we're breaking it up into little parts. It doesn't feel like such a huge, like insurmountable project as it is, because we're breaking it up and those guys are really good. They kind of are taking care of a lot of stuff. So yeah, so thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you on the next installment of the Emu Pond project.
I wish I had a mockingbird. Wish I had a diamond ring. Wish I had